I'm a fitness instructor that recently auditioned for The Voice, and I thought I was gonna lose my job. I'm Brixenta, let's get into it. So, I laugh, but I had a nervous breakdown. So, it's like 4 days, like within like a week span, that were just absolutely insane. So, it was a Friday, and I had made doctor's appointments, a doctor's appointment, who I was going to meet with my primary care physician. I carefully picked him out. I was so excited to start healing this medical journey. Well, not start, but continue healing this medical journey, because back when I got the job at Carl and started teaching fitness, that's the whole reason that I found Carl in the first place. It's a hospital, if you don't know. It's not a person. That's the whole reason I found Carl in the first place, is because I wanted to simultaneously, like, these two things happen like alongside of each other, is I wanted to heal my medical journey because I had such a bad one. Not a bad one, but bad experiences when I did. And so I wanted to heal that, and also I wanted to find a gym with a pool because I wanted to be able to do water fitness all year round. And so, when I found Carl, I was like, oh, this gym is attached to a hospital. Oh, man. And then if you want to watch Being a Fitness Instructor in a Bigger Body playlist, has all the details on that. But, so I was excited to finally have a primary care physician. I made an appointment to go see him, and so I was on my way, and they called me, and I was like, oh, I'm sure that it's just because they sent me several reminders. I'm sure that it's just to confirm, because I didn't do anything with reminders. I just assumed that it was just a reminder and I didn't need to. So I was like, oh, I must have been supposed to confirm. No, that's not why she called. She's like, yeah, I'm the one that actually booked your appointment, and this is no fault of hers, by the way. I'm not blaming her. She's like, and he doesn't actually do primary care, because he's in the facility that I'm at. And so I was like, well, how convenient. But apparently he doesn't actually do primary care. He does sports medicine. I have an ankle injury. I think I am still gonna need to see him. I should have just kept the appointment. But the thing is, I was such an emotional wreck, because it was like this whole confusing thing, because she called me, and I was like, I don't understand. And she's like, here, call this number. This is their nurses line, whatever. They can explain more, blah, blah, blah. Because, like, it was like, I could only see him if there was something wrong with me. And I was like, at that point, I was like, this doesn't make sense. So then I called, and I left a message, and I was pretty upset at that point, because I was like, I'm literally here. Like, they called me, I think, like, 10 minutes before I was supposed to be there. Not 10 minutes before my appointment, but 10 minutes before I was supposed to be there. So, of course, I was already on the way. And so I got to the parking lot, and I called the nurse's line, and I was like, so I don't understand what's going on. I had to leave a message. And so then I talked to a nurse, and she was super understanding, super nice, super helpful. And she was like, the thing is, he does sports medicine. He doesn't do primary care anymore. That makes more sense. That's not what the receptionist told me. And I was like, it doesn't make sense why I have to have something wrong with me to see him. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But now, after finding out he doesn't do primary care, I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. Because he was primary care and sports medicine, but now he's just sports medicine. And I have an ankle injury that I should have kept the appointment. But I was like so emotional at that point, because I was frustrated, because I had specifically selected him because he's a DO, which is Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. So I knew that he very much had the whole person approach, and a lot of times MDs, medical doctors, have medicine only approach. And that's where I've had such a bad time. And not been taken serious. Like, there's just been so many issues with that. And I was like, I think that medicine is necessary, but there's so many, like, things we can do. Like, our bodies are spectacular at healing themselves, unless there's, like, an underlying condition. Sometimes it's not. But anyways, so this was like 10 years of frustrations and stuff. So, and now I work at a facility that actually help, like, we partner with some physicians to like give whole body care, but like the ones in our specific facility are like more specialized doctors. Across the street has other ones, but I was like, I really wanted a DO, and I was excited about this guy because I'm like, he's a DO and he does sports medicine, and I'm like, being a fitness instructor and so active, injury might happen, and it has. And so I was like really excited because I'm like, he knows about all these different techniques, like blah blah whatever. And so the nurse that I was talking to was actually emailing him at the same time, and he understood. I was like, it was just like this, like, it was very frustrating because my insurance company let me book him as primary care, and he hasn't been doing primary care and all that. So it was like just like the hassle of like finding the doctor in the first place, and then finding out that you can't go to, like, just like everything. And I was already in the parking lot, like I said, so I was already there. So like he understood why I was looking for Dio, and I'm like, that's a relief too, cause like I haven't even met with him, he's already taking me seriously. Like, that's phenomenal because that just doesn't always happen. And so he gave a few recommendations, because apparently in our community DOs it is lacking. And so he gave a few recommendations, one of which he was like, she's an MD, but I think that she would really like her. So I booked an appointment after that with her, and it's not till December though, because she was booked out, which is fine. I was kind of expecting that in the first place. I was kind of surprised when I could get in so soon, but now I understand why I got in so soon, which is also good, because I'm like, I've been putting it off because I don't want to go to the doctor, because I'm pretty sure I just sprained it, and so I'm like, I don't really want to go to him. I would like to go to him to meet him, just because of the fact that we do whole body care, and I'm like, I could very much recommend him, but I haven't actually met him, so I can't really recommend him. I kind of can, but anyways, so but like, I'm like, I don't really want to go to the doctor for a sprain, because all they're gonna do is tell me to stay off of it. And I haven't been staying off of it. I have been, however, resting as much as possible, and the classes I've been taking, I'll get into my teaching here in a minute, but the classes I've been taking, I've pretty much went down to just like some light workouts at home, or yoga, or water fitness, and walks. The walks actually irritated, so I'm like, ugh, but I'm like, I can't cut them out. Like, I love being outside, and it's fall, and just no. So and then that day, oh no, so I had taken the test the Wednesday before this happened. So this Wednesday I took the test and failed, which is in the last video, and then Friday all the doctor's appointments lasted, and so I was also had a meeting with my manager, if you will, right after my doctor's appointment, and we had pushed it back a little bit, so I had time, because I had dealt with the doctor's appointment and it didn't go through, so I had time to call. I still want to make a chiropractic appointment. It's really funky what my insurance covers and what it doesn't though. I know I have the issues that it covers, because I've been to a chiropractor, it's been a while, so I know I have those issues. However, it didn't say that it covers the exam, so that's a whole confusing thing of its own. And then there was another, whoops, the eye doctor, the optometrist, I forgot to schedule an appointment there. But also I scheduled a dentist appointment. I don't have a regular dentist, which hopefully this changes that. However, I forgot. I need to call that facility, and I need to call a different facility and see if anybody else has any openings, because I don't trust them already. I'm like, because they're like, because you're a new patient, we can't we can't clean your teeth, because that's all I'm going in for is teeth cleaning. We can't clean your teeth until we do an exam, and we can't schedule the both of those at the same time. We have to schedule your exam, and then when you do your exam, you have to schedule teeth cleaning. And I'm like, why? Like, I understand why you have to do the exam first, that's totally fine, but like, the fact that you won't let me also schedule the teeth cleaning tells me that you're gonna try and scam me into all these things that are wrong with my teeth that aren't. And I don't trust you. And I don't know. I didn't really have a great feeling about it. So the fact that happened, I'm just kind of like, I had a friend who said this never happened to her, but I don't know if that's like maybe more normal and she just hasn't had it happen, and I'm being paranoid, or if it's legitimately like, no, that's not, no. So I guess we'll see. So, but I need to call and see if one of the other places there are a few places that take my insurance, and I need to see if one of those places I feel better about, and if they have any openings, and possibly sooner too, because that was the thing. Like, I called at the end of October, like towards the end of October, and the soonest they could get me in was the very, very, very end of November. So like, almost a month and a half. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me I just wanted teeth cleaning, and you're telling me I have to wait 3 months for that? Because if I had to wait a month and a half to get in for the exam, and you won't schedule the teeth cleaning until I have the exam, I understand if something is really, really wrong and they're like, oh, we can't do the teeth cleaning. I get that, like, that's totally fine, but it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So like, not only did I have to wait a month and a half to get in to just do the exam, like, then I'm gonna have to schedule an appointment there, which I'm guessing is probably gonna be just as crazy booked. So it'll be another month and a half before I can actually get my teeth cleaned. So I'm like, you're telling me it's gonna be 3 months before I can actually get my teeth cleaned? Like, it's a teeth cleaning. People are supposed to get this done every 6 months. Like, why? I don't understand why this is so difficult. So, so I don't really trust them. So I'm gonna try one of the other places and see what happens there. So that's that on the doctor's side of things. My primary care physician, I'm looking forward to meeting with her, and I'm hoping that it goes well, and I'm just going in for a wellness checkup, so I think the exam itself will be fine. But I'm hoping that that I end up building trust with her, and it's all good there. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, so then, okay, so that Wednesday I had my exam. That Friday I went in to the doctor's, and then the following Wednesday I auditioned for The Voice. That was extremely frustrating. So I have other people that live in the house, and never do they like bother me, interrupt me, even because I live in the basement and they live upstairs, and never, but 3 times interrupted during the audition, and I'm like, seriously, all I needed was 10 minutes of peace and quiet. Like, I don't understand. And the first interruption was before the audition, actually, and so it was fine because I was just warming up and practicing and stuff. And then I told them, like, hey, I've got an audition coming up, and then 2 more times got interrupted, and I'm like, seriously? Seriously? And I'm like, never ever like, come down here, call me, like, what, anything like that. And I'm just like, anyways, so that was frustrating in itself because it was really hard to get the audition out there. And then on top of that, it was even more frustrating because I auditioned for The Voice, and The Voice, first of all, they're not doing in-person auditions anymore, and it pisses me off. There's so many other things I wanted to say there. It pisses me off because the in-person auditions are inconvenient for them, and it's inconvenient for everybody, to be honest. However, they are so so much, so much more practical for the person auditioning, and so much easier in many ways as well. It's still inconvenient to have to go to Chicago or whatever, which they usually do in a few major cities. But like, the thing with this is, you have to make sure the frame is right, your background is right. Like, if you're there, like, you don't have to make sure, you don't have to deal with any of the filming stuff, you don't have to deal with any of the background stuff, you don't have to deal with any of the sound stuff. Like, you have to be a filmographer, a sound engineer, and you have to have your outfit and your look together, as well as worked on your voice and all this stuff. And it's like, this is a bunch of BS. It's like, I understand as a content creator we have to do all that stuff, but I'm like, auditioning for this show that somebody else is taking care of, I should not have to do any of that stuff. And like, I understand that actors have to go through this all the time too, but this is not the same thing. Like, and it's an infuriating process, and I would just be annoyed by the process and not like it, and I wouldn't be to the point of being infuriated if it wasn't for the fact that their sound system is terrible. Their sound system does not work. Point blank. It doesn't work. Does not work whatsoever. You have to do your audition at a certain time. You have to do your audition on their website. Their website does not give you an option to test any of your sound stuff beforehand. It says all the approved devices that you can use, yet those devices do not work with their sound system. Because I filmed it like 3 times because the sound kept skipping and you couldn't hardly hear me, and like, it was horrible. And I filmed everything beforehand and everything worked fine. Everything was perfect. I go to their website and I don't know anything until after I filmed the audition. It was so bad, and so obviously I got rejected right away. So I submitted a video audition, because that you give them the link to whatever you film. So that I was able to film on my own device, but I don't know I filmed on my own device both ways, but on my own system, not theirs. So everything was crystal clear, and I'm like, I probably wouldn't have gotten through either way, which is totally fine. However, the fact that people, like, when a corporation gives you all these expectations and you follow them and their stuff doesn't work, it's very infuriating. So I forgot to tell you about the meeting with my boss. So that Friday, after all the doctor stuff, I had a meeting with my boss, and so I was already like emotionally on edge, and she did not have good news. I did not get fired, thankfully, but she did not have good news for me. And she said that my class has been so inconsistent with numbers as far as like the people attending, that they couldn't keep my class going anymore. And she made sure to reiterate that it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. In fact, that she loves having me there. I'm not fired, like all this stuff. It was a really good meeting, and she had nothing but praise, and she had no decision in the matter. It was whoever looks over the numbers for everything. And I think that there's going to be one other class this is going to happen to as well, because I think that they're having the same issue. So not this month, but next month, I think, because they started that class a month after I did. So I'm just subbing at both places right now. But both places did tell me, even though I failed my exam, because if you want to know why I failed my exam, go to the last video. I got into it, but they both told me don't worry about it, as long as I'm working on it, it's totally fine. There's no like time frame of when I have to have it in by, whatever. It was frustrating though, because it was like, this one should have been way easier than the other 2 that I've done. They were just expired, so they didn't count anymore. And you can continue them, but because I wasn't using it, I didn't. And so I was having to do this one, excuse me, but it was ridiculous. Go to the last video if you want to see that. But there's the update for this week. I love you. I believe in you. Dream big. Take action. Bye.